I recently recorded something that was never meant to be public. Something clients pay me thousands of dollars. It's actually a 15-minute teardown revealing the exact conversion killers that are costing LeadPages.com millions. And they're likely sabotaging your sales too. I made this for my team's eyes only, but the insights are too valuable to keep them hidden. So here's the deal. I've built a profitable 8-figure business, and we just cracked, as of this morning, 61 million in revenue. And my current company is well worth over $100 million therefore. The truth is, when I look at most landing pages, even from most established companies, I see the same profit-killing mistakes everywhere over and over again. So in this Leaked Loom video, you will see exactly how I would transform LeadPages.com's strategy to double their conversions and add millions, not just in revenue, but to their bottom line. And the very same principles apply to your business, whether you're running a SaaS, an ecom, an agency, or an info business. So let's jump right in.
Hi, Michael. Pleasure to meet you. Here are my 2 cents on LeadPages. First of all, I think you have a strong brand, powerful lead pages that convert, looks classy, good font, good gradient, really well UI, design kit, awesome. Here I see performance A/B testing, it works better, good trust builders here, eBay, Vimeo, Zapier, Shopify, SoundCloud, big numbers, awesome, data-driven, cool UI, visible, it's like an actual tool that seems to work, crafted, co-creation with my team, perfect. And then, A/B tests that perform better. And then this is portrayed for marketing teams, obviously, that want to have better converting sales pages or landing pages, agencies, just businesses in general, and then enterprise. That makes all sense. That's what I really like here. One thing that I think you can make better is, to me, the edge is unclear. We moved away 10 years ago from LeadPages to ClickFunnels. Why? Because they also had upsells back then and so on and so forth, right? And Russell was omnipresent across all social channels. If I look at this today, what would make us switch, right, is not so easy because we're kind of ingrained there on ClickFunnels and other tools. So that's kind of okay, and I can get page builders these days anywhere, right? Like HubSpot, Go High Level, and so on. So it's not so easy to convince me to switch, but I think there's an opportunity here where you hone in on that whole angle of A/B testing and data-drivenness, and you might think that this is already done with this pop-up, and here, and a little bit of mentioning that here and there, or here's the same one again, right? But I think there is an opportunity to bring that use case way more to the front, and show me how my funnel actually is working, but compared to your funnel, if I will build it on LeadPages, it will convert so much better. And that is right now not visible and also not trustworthy. Why is it also not trustworthy? Because I think case studies are missing. They're, number one, not prominent. They're not really case studies here. And number two, the ones that you have, they're hidden, right? So I go to case studies, and what I see here are case studies which are essentially from the old days of LeadPages, likely where someone left their job and now started building their business. Here's someone making fitness. She's using LeadPages for charity. This is not who I am. So if I'm your ICP, I'm looking for an aspirational ICP that's one level up, that does crazy A/B testing, moved away from ClickFunnels, has so much better conversion. Show me that. It looks like you back then were in the individual business owner segment and NRR and expansion, all of that stuff hard, right? So, hey, let's go up market, let's go after companies. But then it's not just about doing a brand refresh with better visuals and everything. You need to show me and prove to me that this is the next step that I need to take in my business and bring my stuff over to LeadPages. I think you're not doing that yet, as you could. I bet you have customers that you can put way more front and center. Aspirational for me, where I see, okay, this actually, they are there where I want to go. And you show me exactly what they have done, how they have done it, and what KPI was improved. So for that reason, I think the ICP is, at least from the outside, unclear. It looks like, hey, let's go up market, but you still have individuals on the homepage. And in general, no visibility of case studies. So I think that's something I would change. Then LinkedIn, Instagram is, in my opinion, too corporate. Look at this. This obviously doesn't get any engagement. Also here, this is cut off, maybe intentional, maybe not, I don't know. But let's say this here for sure, I cannot see this face. I cannot see what's up here, what's down here. Oh, now all of a sudden I can see it. So it's just like stuff that won't convert, corporate posts on corporate accounts that won't work. And here on Instagram, the same thing, same issue. And then you clearly, I think you want to try, but also like I think you're not really like, you don't want to be the Russell Brunson, the dancing bear that is all over everywhere and wants to become that. You rather want to have a brand face which does the whole job. And what are brand faces? These are people, let's say this here's Instantly. I think they do it quite well. This guy's called Austin Schneider. He's not affiliate, or he's not employed by Instantly. He's just like hired. He has created some of the great outliers for Instantly. This is 100x, meaning that this video performed 100 times better than the channel average. And then here, this is not Moses again, Austin Schneider, again, Austin Schneider. This here's another brand face, and this here's another brand face, and another brand face. So they just like perform, they test brand faces, and the ones that perform best are, of course, then worked more with. And that allows you as a founder to stay behind the scenes. Real quick, we have also done it. Let me show you a couple of brand faces that we have used. Let's see if I can find that real quick. So, my company, I was also faceless until recently. I'm not like wannabe, become a little bit more prominent, but the first like almost like 50 million we have done without like my face anywhere. And I had like Dan here. Dan is he joined business development a couple of years ago, and we made him the face of the company because my thesis was, okay, a Brit works with Americans. Think Chris Williamson, Jimmy Carr, the karaoke guy, or Stephen Bartlett, right? So with him, 0 to 105K audience, 50 million in revenue, was 1.2. That is great. So that's something that you can do if you do not want to become the dancing bear. Then on your YouTube, I think actually it has great potential. So if I would focus on one thing, it's likely YouTube. I think the format that you're doing here with the 3-person thing is actually pretty smart. It's also something that we will see in the future more and more, where you are not interviewing him, but as the third person interviewing the two of you, so that you actually become also portrayed as an expert and not just like this guy, and you're like the moderator that's kind of like just moderation but has no clue, right? So that's pretty smart. I like that. But I don't like here that this is not intentional. You put a couple of chairs together, I get it, but white on white background, light gray pants on background with white. It's just too much white. It doesn't flow well. And if I look at all these videos, the videos do not improve with every video by 5%. You need to look at, for example, backdrop. The next time you do audio, then you do the whole packaging, your thumbnail game, the hook game, and so on and so forth. There's so much content in it. Let's say not relevant content where someone just like tries to come up with a thought. You can cut all of that out. So the whole editing game is also not where it needs to be. Something I would definitely improve if I were you. So cuts, video packaging, please fix that. Couple more things on how to generally level up your marketing and sales. This kind of like the engine that we built in our company to, we have 5x the business in less than 12 months, right? And how did we do it? Essentially, there's this thing that we used. I tried to perfect or build it out to convert social media traffic into profit. And one is like the core, sorry about that. One is the core engines, container one, where you, so the core engines are really important because here you have like the three elements: ideal customer, and that's what we said in the beginning. We really want to understand who that is, and then go full after them with case studies, interview them, using their words, doing like an overwhelming wall of social proof of the ideal customers, and show me with both text and also videos how you have really created impact for them, so that we become more talk of the town and not like the tool that was cool like a couple of years ago, but right now, let's say, is like one of many. Just like my perception, I might be off. Yeah, sorry about that, but that's what I would do with ideal customer, irresistible offer. Here's definitely an opportunity to go down high ticket because you have you have an opportunity to take, let's say, in your ICP, let's say there's a marketing manager, there's a marketing team, right? Like someone gets really educated on how to drive traffic from ad through LeadPages into a checkout and then upsells. So you can show people how to do it and you can educate them, and that can cost 5K, 10K, and then they get LeadPages certified. Or it doesn't have to be a certification, but let's say they just get trained. And then this person from that marketing team, of course, because they invested 5K, 10K, they then of course implement the whole software and use it more, and so that your retention goes up, the usage goes up, you have more seats. And actually customers pay for that. So that means instead of like being super product led and trying to make it cheaper and for free at some point, or like have a really low priced entry offer that then where the product expands, you can do it through marketing and through education and a community layer that you put on top of your SaaS product. We have done that same thing actually by selling this offer stack, which sells a transformation, not a tool. So instead of like boring dust dated marketing team, you become a performance funnel marketing team, for example, right? And then someone goes in, gets the education, and LeadPages, of course, the tool to use it. And you don't just get them the tool, but you also get them, let's say, here the education on how to build the first funnel, how to build the first lead page, how to do the first A/B test, how to scale up to 5 figures, 6 figures, 7 figures, how to enrich leads and whatnot. But you make them pay for that. They get a CSM, which is their growth coach, right? Part community where they have like-minded people. They all get t-shirts and they get a couple of scripts and templates that helps them to become more successful. So that's kind of like an irresistible offer, which all of a sudden is high ticket. You can expand your customers that are, let's say, on low ticket offers, on the current just SaaS offers into this thing. And with these upsells, you can make way more profit without having any marketing costs going against it. I think that's like a great one. And then, of course, like the magnetic identity, what I said earlier, like what is that aspirational thing that your ICPs actually what they want, where they want to go? Show me that. Let's say it's a performing A/B testing. Every week we do A/B tests. You also want to like then create content around that, right? And show how that actually makes a difference and how that increase, let's say, ROAS or top line, profit line, bottom line, and so on and so forth, right? So the magnetic identity is not there. You have good branding, but not a magnetic identity. The resistible offer, I think some high ticket thing is missing, and the ideal customer is, I think, unclear or at least not visible to me. So, and then I want to see overwhelming customer proof everywhere, video and also text. Marketing engines, we already spoke about your socials. Here, what we normally do, or we've done in our company, is one is brand phases. If you don't want to be the dancing bear, you need someone like I brought like the Brit in, Dan. And then you need a content engine, which gives you proven content formats, but also content pieces from adjacent or relevant accounts to then identify like what formats work, what content works. And then you can repurpose that and produce your own quality content and then scale it up with the repurposing engine so that you can make out of one piece of content 20. Then you promote the best content throughout your middle of funnel, bottom of funnel so that you can increase conversion in your sales process, but also in people that are just like exploring different funnel tools. By the way, this is super relevant for AI search as well. I have more companies where they say, hey, half a year ago, it was all like search or let's say ads, but now like 60% of traffic is coming through AI search, which is crazy. And they say the reason is the ones that are doing this successfully is because they're not just like SEO ranking on Google, but they have done the content, they have done the review pages, they have done all of that. And because all of these things are coming together, scraped by the AI, all of a sudden, if you ask, hey, what's the best tool to build my lead page? Or to build like a landing page, LeadPages is then becoming number one. So be aware of that this is huge, that this whole thing enables you to rank high in AI search, okay? Good, and then finally, scaling engines. I think there's an opportunity to just have a better funnel yourself where, I don't know if it's a book that you maybe go after, where you take all your knowledge and put it in a book, which doesn't have you to require to be the dancing bear. This can also be like a free white paper. And then you have, let's say, a free webinar or so to maybe sell the high ticket offer on how to like use LeadPages effectively. There's definitely something. I mean, we are making 50% of our revenue with a webinar funnel, which is profitable on the first sale, and then everything thereafter, like all the subscriptions, is just a pure margin, which is awesome. And like with that, with the content that you also post, you can of course then pre-sell better, and that will increase your conversion in potentially then a high ticket offer that you launch, right? Where our best customers have 80% close rate. Like people show up with credit cards in their hand. Or you can go after account-based marketing strategies where you essentially look for the targets that are like perfect for LeadPages, and then you show them how they can transition from where they are with all the issues to where they want to be. So then you maybe do LinkedIn outreach, clear enrichment, and you go after them with like dialogues, but then of course strong middle of funnel, bottom of funnel content to in the end convert them. One thing I want to show you, just like to see you like how a content engine actually looks like. This is the inspiration engine that I use myself. I have here creators in that are relevant for me across channels, so TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, X, LinkedIn. And I think I just put in a couple of days ago, Tom Billieux, he sold Quest for $1 billion to some PE. And essentially the engine, this is here an Airtable, which is like Google Sheets on steroids, takes all the content of Billieux and then of the last 2 years, and then sorts them by the highest engaging ones. So you like see the best content, and with that you get just the best converting content, formats and content itself, which is relevant for your own stuff and so on and so forth. Okay, cool. So this is like my 2 cents on what I think you can do with LeadPages to get more pull instead of push, and become also more relevant for Lighthouse customers. Because in the end, you need more Lighthouse customers case studies where they say, you know what, like LeadPages, since I moved over, life is better, and that will then attract also other companies. And with a high ticket offer, you can do all of that also profitably. And with good content, you can also rank higher in AI search. I think there's just like a whole rooster of things. And of course, you should focus. But it's like, I think to double, triple this company profitably, definitely possible.